It's been years since anyone in our village got married. It's officially become a village of bachelors. There are already over a dozen guys like me who aren't married. A lot of parents are worried sick. As for the girls in the village, they've all moved to the big cities. In our village, if someone manages to get a wife, that would literally be an honor to their ancestors, and a pride for the entire village. Our ancestors, for generations, all managed to get married, but by our generation, it's like we're going extinct. There's nothing we can do. It's too many men and not enough women, so getting married is tough. The number of bachelors in our village is just going to keep increasing. And this situation is never going to change.
Why are so many young people nowadays increasingly reluctant to get married? Honestly, I don't want to get married either. Because, truthfully, I just feel like the social pressure these days is so immense. And I can't even earn much money. Just supporting myself is already tough enough, so how am I supposed to get married? Even though I'm a girl, I actually like to put myself in other people's shoes. So if I put myself in a guy's shoes, I just feel like the social pressure nowadays is so huge. And you also have to support your elderly parents. And then if you get married, you'll have kids. And then you can't even support yourself anymore. Your parents can't support themselves, let alone the kids. So much pressure. And then you see, these days, as soon as you mention marriage, you need a car, you need a house, oh my gosh, and then there's the bride price. I was just chatting with my mom about this the other day, and my mom even said, if you don't have $1,000,000 yuan, you can't even make any of this happen. Oh my god, but honestly, I feel like these days, for us ordinary people, we're all from average families. We simply don't have that kind of financial capability. This is honestly just insane. I never thought the desire for young people to get married would be even lower than we imagined. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Civil Affairs, China saw about 1.81 million marriage registrations in the first quarter of this year. What does that mean? It's a direct decrease of 159,000 couples compared to last year. On the flip side, divorce registrations hit a whopping 630,000 couples, a direct increase of 57,000 compared to last year. That means for every 3 couples getting married, 1 couple is getting divorced. So, if this trend continues, the number of marriage registrations this year will likely drop below 6 million. Just to put that in perspective, in 2023, the number of marriages was over 7.68 million. And back in 2014, that number was a staggering 13.067 million couples. So, in just 10 short years, the number of marriages in China has been cut in half. This means China has officially entered an era of super-singledom. Many people might not realize that as of 2022, the number of single people nationwide has already reached 240 million. What does that even mean? Let me put it this way. That number alone exceeds the combined populations of Russia, Canada, and South Korea. You have to understand, for overall societal development, marriage is undeniably the #1 engine for economic growth. That's why you'll notice that lately, both the central government and local authorities have started pulling out all the stops. For instance, some places in Zhejiang province have mandated that simply completing marriage registration will get you a 1,000 yuan gift package. Even more, Liyuliang City in Shaanxi is directly handing out 1,500 yuan cash red packets right at the marriage registration counter. And get this, some village in Guangzhou even stipulated that single young people with local household registration after 1 year of their first marriage can directly receive a 40,000 yuan cash reward. But even with all these efforts, the issue of declining marriage rates still doesn't seem to be getting an effective solution. So, why is this happening? Well, there are actually 4 real reasons. Reason number 1, the high cost of marriage. As young people, I think it's less about us not wanting to get married and more about us being afraid to. Because the cost of getting married these days is just ridiculously high. According to a survey by Renmin University of China, in 2023, the average cost for young people to get married in China was about 330,000 yuan. Keep in mind that the average per capita disposable income for residents nationwide in the same year was only 39,200 yuan. That means getting married costs most people about 8 years of savings. And mind you, this doesn't even include major expenses like a house, a car, or the betrothal gift, along with the loan repayment pressure that comes with them. Reason number 2, the high cost of raising children. Once married, most people face pressure from parents or relatives to have kids. But the cost of raising a child these days is also no small sum. According to a report by economist James Liang's team, The average cost for a Chinese family to raise a child until university graduation is 680,000 yuan. That's 16.46 times last year's average per capita disposable income, far exceeding many developed countries. You could say it's the highest globally, second only to our neighbor, South Korea. I know many older folks will definitely say, "You young people worry too much. Back in our day, we had nothing, and we still got married and had kids." But back then, even at 40, people were still in their prime for making a career. One job or one skill could support a family for a lifetime.
But what about now?
Things have completely changed. We not only face the 35-year-old career crisis, but also the constant threat of industrial upgrades. On one hand, there are unyielding living costs, and on the other, a full plate of uncertainties. Who wouldn't feel a knot in their stomach with all that? Besides the reasons above, there are also objective factors. Reason number 3. The sex ratio in China's population structure has become severely imbalanced. For some young people, it's not that they don't want to get married or are afraid to, it's that they can't get married. According to data from the 7th National Population Census, among people aged 20 to 40, which is prime marrying age, the male population outnumbers the female population by a staggering 17.52 million. And this situation doesn't seem to be getting any better anytime soon. Take the post-90s generation as an example. The current sex ratio is about 110 males to 100 females, meaning there are 9 million more men than women. And for the post-00S generation, this number jumps to 115 males to 100 females, with 11 million more men than women. No wonder some netizens say that if international marriages aren't opened up, the number of single men will only keep growing. Reason number 4. Here's another startling truth. The educational attainment levels for men and women have also become severely imbalanced. There's an old Chinese saying, "Women marry up, men marry down," which basically means girls should marry someone superior to them in all aspects. But in reality, according to data recently released by the Ministry of Education, in 2022, the proportion of female undergraduates newly enrolled nationwide reached 63%, significantly higher than males. While education level doesn't directly determine income or other conditions, subconsciously, highly educated women generally find it difficult to marry down in terms of marriage compatibility. And because they believe they have stronger social survival skills, many women prefer to stay single rather than settle. It's like many women who've gotten used to the hustle and bustle of big cities find it hard to adapt to the quiet of smaller towns. Even if it means living alone in a cramped apartment in a big city, they'd rather do that than go back to a village or a town to marry, have children, and live a stable life. For men, it's a completely different story. Most men who can establish a career and settle down in a big city before the age of 35 will choose to return to their hometowns. This leads to a severe regional distribution imbalance between these two major groups of marriageable individuals, further dragging down the marriage rate. It's truly not that young people don't want to get married. It's that they're afraid to or simply can't.